For days they grieved the loss of their village. Finally, they moved into a deeper part of the forest. All they talked about was the book and the legend. Every day, pictures of battles, of cities on fire, of their old friends calling for help came to them again and again. Each of them told their dreams, and they tried to put the puzzle together. They realized they were the last of the true shadows. If there was a book, if the legend was true, then it had to be them. They had to be the shadowmen spoken of by the wise ones, or else it was all a lie. Each day their confidence grew, and they began to prepare for the battle of the legend. Tad was no longer that insecure small one trying to find out who he really was. He'd made his decision. He was a warrior now, and ready to die if that's what it took. Joy wasn't lost in emptiness anymore. Her anger was no longer aimed at her father, but at the powers that pulled him away from her. Quest was not to be stopped. All he could see was the book. All he could hear was the legend. And he was in the center of it. Sling took care of the others as if he were their servant, and his friends loved him deeply. They dedicated all authority to him and vowed that if they ever found the book, they would make sure that he was the first to open it. All four had been sensing some new power, and it seemed to be getting stronger. They didn't know what to expect from it. One thing they knew, the visions they were having would often come to pass days later. In the deepest part of the forest, they found a river that led into a canyon. That night they set up camp. Quest read them the riddle about finding the book by losing your life to the river of life. They didn't understand the riddle, but they understood the danger. They didn't know where the river would end, but they knew they were meant to find out. When they went to sleep, Sling had a dream. In his dream there was darkness, then a stream of light. He thought he saw the four of them on some kind of hovercraft. And then there was a blinding light and he awoke. The next morning, he told them about the dream. They talked about its meaning and what was up ahead. For the young shadows, this was a time of destiny. For them, everything was at risk, yet there was nothing left to lose. They prepared to walk into the legend. They prepared to defeat the greatest of enemies, and they prepared to die. They all came together for one last prayer.